The 88-year-old is the leader of 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide. Since 2013, Francis has cemented himself as the most progressive pope in history. He famously said, "Who am I to judge?" when asked about gay priests. He's called for urgent action on climate change, been outspoken in his support for immigrants, and moved the church forward in its treatment of women. In his home country of Argentina, his friend and fellow priest said Francis was the pope who made the church return to the gospel.
He has recognized the dignity of many who were discarded from society. In the slum, in the mass we did in Plaza Constitucion against human trafficking, and so on. He's really an incredible human being. We are confident in God and in his recovery. He's in God's hands.
And just this morning, while in the hospital, Pope Francis addressed the ongoing war in Ukraine, saying, quote, "Tomorrow will be the third anniversary of the large-scale war against Ukraine, a painful and shameful occasion for the whole of humanity." Natasha.
Yeah, Mills Hayes with that tonight. Thank you. And joining us now is Dean of Moral Theology and Ethics and Professor at the Catholic University of America, Dr. Joseph Capizzi. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I know you've studied the Pope's work over his lifetime. What can you tell us about some of the Pope's incredible legacy already? What do you believe his defining moments will be of his papacy?
Well, I think what you're going to see is people will understand him as somebody who fought clericalism within the church, who really tried to return the church to focusing on the gospel, to bringing the church to the people, especially to people who are vulnerable, migrants, those who are very sick and disabled, the homeless. From the very first moments of his papacy, right, he invited homeless into his home. So there were lots of moves that focused us on the gospel itself.
He was also the first pope to visit Iraq, meeting with Muslim leaders in 2021. How significant was this?
Any ecumenical move like that, or interreligious move like that, is, of course, of great significance, right? The Pope is the most visible figure, religious figure in the world. And for him to reach out to Muslims in Iraq was of enormous, significance for the church moving forward.
How are you in the Catholic community dealing with the latest on the Pope's health tonight?
I think there's a lot of sadness, clearly, right? There's expectation that this looks very serious, that if it's not, imminent, it'll be very soon when he passes. I think there's also hope. Any moment like this brings hope to the church. One of the beautiful things you see about it is the unity. The papacy is a sign of unity for the world, really. And you see Catholics coming together. Nobody's talking about the divisions, that often mark the media when it talks about the papacy or the church. Instead, everybody's talking about praying for the Pope, caring for him, hoping that he's not suffering and that his passing will bring him ultimately face to face with God.
And we see Mills Hayes reporting this just a moment ago, that even from the hospital, even with the battle he has on his hands right now, he's making a point to address the ongoing war in Ukraine, saying tomorrow will be the third anniversary of the large-scale war against Ukraine, a painful and shameful occasion for the whole of humanity. What do you make of the fact that he is still doing this, still speaking out about this, even in his condition?
One of his and the papacy's most important points of focus is peace of the world, right? Peace on earth is a gift of God to all of us. We all have to continually strive for it. And so long as Pope Francis remains Pope, he is going to clearly exercise his will towards trying to bring about peace to that, terrible situation.
Dr. Joseph Capizzi, thank you for your time tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.